Our first clip begins calmly, a drone drifting above a stunning waterfall in Hawaii. Crystal clear water, lush green cliffs, sunlight reflecting off the mist. But nature changes fast. As the drone holds position, a deafening roar erupts upstream. A sudden flash flood bursts through the valley, slamming into the waterfall with terrifying power, and standing just a few feet from the edge is a tourist. The drone captures the exact moment the wave strikes him, sweeping him out of sight in an instant. The drone operators, panicked, rush toward the water, guiding their drone through the chaos in hopes of locating him. Minutes later, a rescue helicopter circles overhead, and then, incredibly, the drone finds him, alive. Bruised, shaken, but alive. A peaceful recording turned into a near-death rescue. The next clip wasn't meant for the public at all. In June 2013, leaked footage from a classified German military drone appeared online. It shows something few people ever witness: a near collision with a commercial passenger plane. The drone cruises silently through the Afghan sky. Then, faint at first, a massive jet emerges in the distance. Their paths intersect. Within seconds, the drone passes just beneath the plane's left engine, reportedly within a single meter, 1 meter between life and catastrophe. Had contact been made, the consequences would have been unimaginably tragic. This moment remains one of the closest near misses ever captured by an unmanned aircraft. In 2017, police stopped a 20-year-old man named Zachary along the Florida coastline. Suspected of smuggling contraband, he panicked. And the moment the officer looked away, he ran. He sprinted down the beach for kilometers, desperately trying to escape. And then dove straight into the ocean, swimming farther and farther from shore. A police drone was launched to track him. At first, Zachary kept a steady pace, but exhaustion soon took over. The drone footage shows him struggling, barely able to keep his head above water. Then something else appears. Beneath the surface, a shark, drifting dangerously close. Neither Zachary nor the shark seemed aware of the other, but the officers watching from above immediately realized the situation had changed. This wasn't an arrest anymore, it was a rescue. Moments later, Zachary was pulled from the ocean, exhausted, terrified, and lucky to be alive. Drones have become vital tools in emergency rescue, and this next case shows exactly why. A 23-year-old man in India had been hiking with friends when he slipped and fell into a ravine, a sheer cliff half a mile high. He survived the fall, but was trapped in an impossible position. He waited there for 40 hours, cold, injured, and alone. A rescue team deployed a drone that hovered beside him, delivering food, water, and reassurance. The drone footage shows him clinging to the rock, his legs dangling over empty air. Eventually, climbers reached him, secured ropes, and pulled him back to safety. A rescue made possible by a drone. Indonesia. A young woman disappears after being pulled under by a powerful current near a waterfall. For days, search teams scour the area, but no body is found. Then a drone goes up and captures something unsettling. A woman appears in the shallow water beneath the falls, standing calmly, looking ahead, but no one on the ground reacts to her. No one even seems to see her. Only the drone does. Moments later, she slips behind a rock and vanishes. According to the story, the missing girl's parents claimed the figure resembled their daughter. Still, skeptics remain unconvinced. But if it wasn't her, then who did the drone record? April 2020, New York City. A drone operator flying along the coast notices something strange on a small, restricted island nearby. Workers dressed in full hazmat suits digging a long trench. A forklift lowering sealed containers shaped eerily like human bodies. Standing at a distance, several men in black suits watch the operation, never approaching too closely. Soon, the truth emerges. The boxes contain victims from the rapidly spreading global pandemic. mass burials on Hart Island, captured entirely by accident, a glimpse into a tragic moment in history that few were ever meant to witness. In Tampa, a man named Jeffrey Heim went for a quick swim in the Marca River. Within minutes, something slammed into him so violently he thought a boat had struck him, but a drone recording the river captured the truth, a 10-foot alligator attacking from below. The footage shows Jeffrey resurfacing, blood pouring from his head as he frantically swims towards the bank. He survives, but suffers a skull fracture and multiple bite wounds. After that day, he vowed never to enter that water again. Not all drone encounters are accidents. In this clip, a drone operator flies above farmland, only to see an angry man storm out of his house carrying a shotgun. The drone records him removing his hat, tossing it aside, taking aim, and firing. The drone spirals downward, crashing to the earth, but its camera keeps recording. A week later, the same farmer was arrested for allegedly killing his neighbor using the same weapon, a disturbing escalation hinted at by the drone's final moments. People with dementia often wander without direction, unaware of danger. This drone footage shows a woman who disappeared from her home days earlier. Her family searched for her tirelessly. Then, a drone equipped with a thermal camera spots a faint heat signature in the woods. A small figure, alone, in near-freezing temperatures, ground teams rush in. They find the woman collapsed, exhausted, but alive. The drone quite literally saved her life. This clip
dramatic video
feels
captures what many have
unreal,
called a hellish fire
as if it were
vortex.
taken from a
massive blaze erupted
disaster
in the Gulf of
movie.
Mexico due to a gas
A
leak,
pipeline
underwater
leak in the
pipeline.
Gulf of
Fortunately, no
Mexico
one was injured.
ignites the
The rare and
surface of
surreal
the
event
ocean.
occurred near the coast
A
of Cuba and
swirling
Del Carmen.
fire
The fire
vortex
broke out close
erupts
to an
above the
uninhabited
waves.
platform, so there was no immediate risk
Drones
to human
capture
life.
flames
Authorities
boiling
confirmed
out
that the
of the
pipeline
water,
didn't carry crude oil,
twisting
which
in a
meant there was
bright
no major
orange
ecological threat to marine
whirlpool.
life in the area.
3 vessels
support
spray
vessels
the
were deployed to
blaze from
extinguish the fire,
all sides.
which appeared to be burning right on the surface
Somehow,
of the river.
no one is
Aerial
injured,
footage shows a fiery whirlpool
but the site
with
itself
flames
is
rising above the
unforgettable.
ocean, forming a
The
terrifying
ocean
scene straight out of a disaster movie.
burning. August 12, 2015. Tianjin, China. A warehouse storing hazardous chemicals explodes, followed moments later by a second explosion even more powerful. Drone footage captures the aftermath. Nearly 10,000 new vehicles reduced to twisted metal, smoldering ruins stretching in every direction, windows shattered, factories leveled, families displaced. 155 people lost their lives, more than 700 injured. A silent drone floating above the devastation, recording the scale of a tragedy that shook an entire nation. Our final clip comes from a cemetery steeped in legend. A grieving mother who died shortly after losing her infant child is said to still wander the grounds, searching for the baby she never got to hold again. A man named Rusty decides to investigate, but instead of entering the cemetery himself, he sends up a drone. As the drone glides between the headstones, eerie moans echo across the empty field. Then, something rises. A dark, shadow-like figure appears to lift from the ground itself. It stands, shifts, and fades into darkness. Shaken, Rusty immediately turns the drone around and leaves. To this day, he insists what he filmed wasn't human. What do you think?